City Council runoff elections right around the corner. In fact, early voting starts on Monday. And joining me in studio to talk about his campaign for Lubbock City Council, Jared Hall.
Good morning, Chad. Glad to be back.
Yeah, thanks for coming in studio today, talking about your campaign. You're in the runoff in District 2, Lubbock City Council.
Yep.
How's that? I guess everything's just now starting to get really fired back up, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got to kind of take a little time off from this campaign, and now we're down to the final days. Yeah,
and early voting starting next week. Have you been out there walking blocks and talking to people
Absolutely.
And reminding them, hey, there's one more. You got to get out there one more time.
Yeah, it's a lot of because I'm going back to the same houses and a lot of the same people saying, hey, I remember you. I said, yeah, I was here a couple of weeks ago. So I go out and I've been out there knocking on doors again and just reminding folks that so we had the previous election, but now we're to runoff, and I need their vote one more time.
Well, and I know that one of the issues for you in this campaign has been, for District 2, it's not just East Lubbock. That District 2 is a larger district than what many think.
Absolutely, and I get the feeling that when I came into this race that I really brought that issue to the front of a lot of voters' minds, because here is also when I was out knocking on doors, I did get several people who had felt like that we had been ignored by our previous councilman, and that's not something that I want to see happen here come up on this runoff election, as we need a representative or a city councilman who is going to represent the entire district and not just focus on those issues that are on the minds of people just in northeast Lubbock.
Right. When you're going door to door right now, are you still hearing the same issues, or has it changed a little bit in people's minds?
No, it's mostly the same issues, and so it's the same issues that really affected even in the mayor's race. We're looking at people want the neighborhoods safe. They want the infrastructure taken care of, and then of course they want jobs. They want to see growth throughout the whole city, not just a few government-funded projects here or there, but a comprehensive strategy of growth and a plan for growth for the entire city.
Well, you see the growth happening right now, obviously in Southwest Lubbock. You see the growth happening in West Lubbock, and I'd say even Northwest Lubbock. You see growth, around where Alamo Draft House is and in some of that area. For District 2, and of course you have the focus on downtown as well. Mm-hmm. Is there enough growth? Are there enough people coming in, businesses that are wanting to come in, where you're going to see that growth in District 2?
I think we're going to. It's inevitable as long as we have those basic conditions in place, those basic conditions being safe neighborhoods and infrastructure, and then a tax and fee structure that isn't oppressive to businesses. Everyone I talk to that starts looking at the future of Lubbock, we're looking at a city that's going to be at 300,000 here within 10 years. But probably in the next 5 years, we're going to be a city of 300,000. And I mean, it's kind of a psychological hurdle there when you say, okay, Lubbock's 300,000. Well, that means that there's going to be a lot of growth happening in Lubbock and over the next few years, in the next decade. So we need to have a city council that's active, dynamic, and ready to be proactive and address these issues and look for opportunities and encourage opportunities.
If you're elected, if you win this thing, you're going to get thrown in during the middle of budget season. Congratulations.
Right.
So what would you like to see when it comes to the budget and some of these issues that are going to come up that will help out District 2, but not only District 2, but all of Lubbock? What if you had a magic wand and you could say, okay, here's what I want to see in a budget, what would it look like?
Okay, so if we're looking at a budget that can encourage growth in District 2, we start with a budget that addresses the 50-some-odd miles of unpaved roads that we have in Lubbock. And then the second thing, we look at are we providing enough resources to our police department so that they can adequately patrol these areas? And then the third thing is we need to have a budget that has some long-term stability and planning in it, so that as we're going out and we're approaching businesses about moving to Lubbock, we can say, okay, here's what your tax rate and your fee rate, this is what you can anticipate for the next 5 or even Maybe we can plan on even as far as 10 years so that we can say we can already tell you what it's going to cost you to move to Lubbock and then make it a very attractive offer to them.
What are the type of businesses you think that the residents in District 2 are needing the most or wanting the most?
Well, that depends on where you're at. District 2 is a very diverse district. We've got, it's not just diverse ethnicity. It is also very diverse income-wise. We have some neighborhoods where the average income is over $50,000. We have some neighborhoods where it's under $20,000. Mm-hmm. So it's a wide range of jobs. So any type of jobs are good for District 2.
Right. Visiting with Jared Hall, candidate for Lubbock City Council in District 2. Of course, this is a runoff, which means you do have one opponent in the race.
Right.
What are the main differences between you and your opponent?
Well, I think at this point we've got a very clear choice. We've got on one side we've got Sheila Patterson Harris. She's on record as saying she's not opposed to tax increases. She's a lifelong Democrat activist. She's in support of spending more money on that Northeast Lubbock Corporation without any accountability. And then on the other side, you've got me. I'm a lifelong Republican. I've been active in the Republican Party. I'm pro-life. I'm in favor of religious freedoms. And I'm going to be fighting to keep our taxes low. And I'm also going to be fighting and working for jobs and growth for the entire district.
What would you like to see as the future with the NELCDC?
I'd like to see some accountability. I think it's a great idea, a great vision, great idea, something that we do need for the Northeast Lubbock community. But what we don't need is we don't need this city funds going into this private corporation or quasi-private corporation without any accountability. If they want our money, then we should have a say and we should have a little bit of oversight on what's going on with it.
How long should the NELCDC be funded by taxpayers?
Well, that comes with the accountability.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you got to look at it as a business investment. Are we getting a return on our money here? Right now, we're not getting a return on our money.
Right.
So don't throw good money after bad. If it continues to not live up to its promise, then we need to try a different structure.
Visiting with Jared Hall, candidate for Lubbock City Council in District 2. Are you? I know you're getting out there. You're walking blocks. You're talking to people. And obviously, you're the conservative in this race,
right.
Running against a pretty strong liberal.
Yes.
In that area. Are you in need of volunteers, campaign volunteers?
Absolutely.
What can people do to help you out?
I would love to have any and all help that I can get. Anyone who wants to help. It's even just a matter of even making phone calls or just going out. I know I plan on going out and knocking on doors this Saturday. So if people want to call me up and volunteer, just even for 20 minutes, an hour, that would be great. We need room. We've got room. We need help.
You mentioned before I let you go. You mentioned the unpaved roads, and
right.
and that is something I keep hearing from District 1 residents and District 2 residents. How big of an issue, when it comes to growth, how big of an issue is that?
Well, you think about, okay, so you're looking to locate your business or you're looking to move into an area and you're driving, and the first thing you do, well, you look at your price range and then you look at kind of a neighborhoods, and then the next thing you do is you drive around the neighborhood, get the feel for the neighborhood, and you drive around. And if you're driving around and you take a left turn and it's a dirt road, what does that tell you about the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Well, you're not. If you're looking to live inside the city limits and live with the comforts and the amenities of a city, you want it to feel like a city. And a dirt road in the middle of the city, that's you're thinking, well, I'm in the Wild West. I'm not in the city of Lubbock. So that's kind of that's it. It creates an impression that could be negative, so it would help increase the perception. I've been out there driving on those roads, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm still inside the city.
Yeah. Visiting with Jared Hall, candidate, Lubbock City Council, District 2. Jared, how can people, do you have like a Facebook page or a website where people can go, or just phone number where they can call you?
So you can go to my Facebook page and just look up Jared B. Hall for Lubbock City Council, District 2, or you can give me a call at 806-370-7496, and that'll ring up my campaign.
Yeah, and folks, if you're looking to volunteer with a campaign,
they
need to get Jared Hall on the city council.
Yep, I could use your help.
Yeah, get him on the city council. He's a conservative in the runoff in District 2, obviously. And I guess in just the regular race, it was more about name ID, getting your name out there. getting in, because all everyone knew was going to get into a runoff.
Yes.
And so now it's okay. There's a clear cut difference.
Yeah, and that was my goal in the previous election, was just to make sure that it went to a runoff. I knew it was going to go to a runoff. I planned on it to go to a runoff. So my initial goal was just to get out there, get my name out there. I think I've got my name out there. So now at this point, it's a matter of getting people out to vote here in a summer election.
Well, it's that, and also getting people who don't know they live in District 2 to get out and vote, because there are a lot of Republican households in District 2.
Yeah, and they also need to know that they have a choice. You can either be represented by someone who doesn't have your interest, or you can be represented by someone who more closely aligns with your interest, which would be me.
Yep. Jared Holt, thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Chad.
Thanks for stopping in.